Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we will be telling you our coming out stories, but first I want to show you how Sonia turned me gay. Oh my god, you're so pretty. Let's be friends.
Are you into girls?
I'm straight. I like men. I like vaginas now.
And that's how gay people are made.
So obviously Sonia's not a lesbian vampire and she never turned me gay. I was never straight. I never identified as straight. But the only reason that we wanted to bring this up in a video is because a lot of my family members in particular, not all of them, but some of them, happen to think that Sonia flipped me over like some tortilla or something, like she turned me gay. No, gay people are not turned gay. They don't choose to be gay. They're, for the most part, born gay, born with their sexual preferences. So we're just making this video in hopes that it can be educational to a lot of people, and hopefully this video is also helpful to LGBTQ individuals and allies. So I'm going to start with my coming out story. I never really came out formally. Growing up, I never really identified as anything. Like, I never called myself straight or queer or like anything. But I was raised extremely sheltered, very religious Catholic family, and I never interacted with gay people. I heard about them on the TV and I was being raised very much to think that they're bad people. You know, I've always been very feminine growing up, and within the very sheltered and strict family that I grew up in, I just figured, you know, I'm a girl and girls date boys. That's what I was taught. That's what I was like traumatized into believing, heteronormativity. So yeah, I did date boys when I was younger because, I don't know, I wanted to feel normal. I felt like the right thing to do at the time. In high school, I was also dealing with a lot of mental health issues, so dating wasn't exactly my priority. I did date one guy in particular in high school. This relationship lasted for most of high school, but he was older than I was, so he actually was in like college while I was still in, so I wouldn't see him very often at all. It was mostly like a texting relationship, I guess. And my parents were so strict that I never really got to see him anyways, which was useful for my situation, I guess. But when the relationship did get intimate, I felt very uncomfortable. I wasn't happy. Things weren't feeling right. And long story short, I awkwardly ended the relationship, which I felt really bad because I really did care for this person as a friend. So at the time, I didn't know what the term asexual meant, but I felt that way. Like, I felt like I didn't experience sexual attraction. I felt like I didn't enjoy intimacy. You know, this is something that people kind of argue with me about. Like, what if it was just this one in particular, or, you know, whatever. I don't know how to put it. Like, I feel like at the time I tried to make myself like it, you know. I would talk to my female friends or like my cousin, and we would be like, oh yeah, like the first time hurts, you know, like 10 more times. No, like it just didn't feel right, and that's why I had to end it. And like I said, that's why I felt like I was some type of asexual, like I didn't enjoy sex at all. But no, I'm just really gay, so I kind of know how else to say it. So I stayed single after that relationship until I met Sonia in 2014-ish at our community college. And I'm not gonna get into like how we met because I think we talked about that in another video. But basically, I saw her and I was like, damn, she's fine. We kind of, when we started talking, we almost instantly started flirting, and it felt very natural, and we connected almost instantly. So basically, like, Sonia and I were dating and all that, right? And Sonia was, it was like, what? Because we met in late 2014. I invited Sonia over for our family Christmas party, and she came over. Parents loved Sonia. They were like, wow, she's so pretty, look at her hair, look at her eyes, blah blah blah. So they really liked her as my gal pal. So that Christmas night, or Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, they loved Sonia. She actually stayed until like the morning, and then she went home. After that though, my mom caught on to, you know, all the Christmas presents that Sonia had bought me. They were very personal, very sweet of her, like a personalized periodic table, just things like that, you know, things that only someone who's really close to me would know I like. And or at the time, now everyone knows that. So we were in the kitchen one day and my mom was like, yeah, like she's getting you a lot of gifts, and I was like, she likes me, we're good pals, you know. And I don't know how the conversation led to this, but I mentioned that Sonia was working on her car, like some mechanic thing on her car. And so my mother was like, she knows how to do car mechanics, like she sounds like a lesbian. And I was like, oh, she is. And she goes, well, you better be careful, she might like you. And I was like, what if she does, right? And she's like, I forget how the conversation went, but she kind of looks at me funny. She's like, do you like girls? Mind you, I was already 18 or 19, I can't remember. I was probably like 19 at the time. I wasn't gonna lie to her. Like, I'm old enough to where I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, I like boys. So I think I was like, well, I don't like boys. And she's like, so you like girls? And I was like, yeah. And all I'm gonna say is hell broke loose, basically. So yeah, things got pretty bad after that. I was trying to be honest. Not in my eyes, it wasn't disrespectful, because it's more disrespectful in my mind, in my eyes, if you lie to your parents. But yeah, things didn't go very well, and our relationship isn't that great right now, and I'm not going to say more than that because hopefully someday they'll come around, but so far they haven't. So when I first started dating Sonia, I did feel really insecure because she was the first girl that I was ever with, even though it felt very natural to me and I knew that like there was nothing wrong with me. And it was the very first time that I actually thought about my sexuality, because like I said, prior to that I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues that made my sexuality and my dating life not my priority. I don't think I was that old either. Like, people make it so dramatic. They're like, oh my god, you came out super old. I was like 19 or 18. Like, I wasn't that old, you know. That's actually a very typical age that people start to explore their sexuality. So anyways, I thought about it and I was like, would I ever date a guy? No. Do I find men sexually attractive? No. You know, there's nothing wrong with bisexuality, but I'm just not bisexual. So I found out real quick with Sonia that I do enjoy intimacy. Well, that sounds like super personal. But no, well, basically I found out with Sonia that I'm not asexual. I do enjoy intimacy, just not with men. It's like really hard to talk about this for some reason. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, a few people sort of kind of made me feel bad when I first came out. Well, like I said, I didn't formally come out, but when I was out like with Sonia in public, posting pictures and being gay, a few people kind of made me feel like, they were like, well, how many girlfriends have you had? Like, how is Sonia your first girlfriend? Listen, you're not any less of a whatever you identify as because you don't have a history. In fact, you know, over time I realized that I'm really thankful I don't have a history. Like, I'm really glad that Sonia's my first girl and I want it this way, for multiple reasons. One, there's less drama. Two, she's in a sense my first love. So yeah, don't let people make you feel like less of a being for whatever path your life took.
You don't need numbers to be like, yes, I've had sex with this many people, so yeah, I know I'm gay, or so, I know I'm straight. Because it's just like, I can switch the question back on you. Well, how do you know you're straight if you've never had sex with a girl? Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same thing. So for people who might be like, well, when did you know you were gay, or how did you not realize you were attracted to women? I did realize, and growing up I always found women very attractive. I just didn't act on it or like think much of it. I just thought, you know, women, yeah, like duh, women are beautiful and everybody thinks that, right? No. It's just me and my gay ass. So I guess this is a good place to lead into Sonia's coming out story, because I'm kind of like very oblivious person in general anyways. So when I was 18, I was like, wow, connecting the dots, like everything makes sense now. But Sonia, on the other hand, she knew at a very young age, so. Yeah. So I always knew I was a lesbian since pretty much kindergarten. And I was always what everyone calls a tomboy. So I actually had my first girlfriend in high school, but I also dated guys, but when it came to intimacy, it just didn't feel right. I actually hated it, so never again. So I knew I was attracted to girls, so I just started dating them, and you know, I just keep men as friends, pretty much. As bros. And I actually have an older sister who is actually a lesbian as well. And she came out first before me, and things were really rough for her. Then I was actually outed in high school. I didn't actually get to come out myself. And I don't really want to get into that story. It's kind of just some stupid stuff that happened in the past. Yeah, it's just I was outed for stupid reasons. I came home one day and, you know,
everyone knew.
Yeah, and it was brought to my attention. So that's pretty much what happened. But, you know, things did get better over a few years. All of my family did come around, and things are great.
They're really great. Like, growing up, I just never felt a sense of family, like a very strong bond with my family. And that's not to, you know, throw shade or anything like that. I just really didn't have that strong, closely knit family that a lot of people do have. And the reason why I feel on my side is simply that they never really, not all of them, but a lot of them didn't really accept me for who I am. Not just with regards to my sexuality, but in a lot of other aspects. When I met Sonia and I was integrated into her family, it was insane how much they accepted and loved me, and I'm just really thankful for that. And I'm not going to start crying in this video because...
But I mean, it did take a lot and a while to get to that place. It was very rough for both my sister and I, and we both have some, you know, stories to tell about that. But they did come around, and, you know, I hope that if anybody is going through this, coming out, I hope that you're, you know, if you are going through the same thing, I hope that your family does come around, because that it is difficult when you don't have the support from your family.
Yeah, mine hasn't fully come around yet, and I understand where they come from, their background. You know, gay people weren't out in their town, where they grew up, so I definitely understand where they're coming from, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to hide who I am as a person. This is something more for family members who might be watching this video, who frown upon my relationship with Sonia. Sonia is the only person in my life who has shown me acceptance and love like no other person. And don't stare at me, I'm gonna cry.
Love you.
She supports my academic goals. I'm gonna start crying. She supports my academic goals, my life goals. She deals with me when I'm a brat. I can be wearing no makeup. I mean, you know how I wake up with like crazy hair and like I'm like drilling on you. She just loves me in every single sense, and that's something that I feel like everyone, you know, my family should be happy for. I'm gonna cry. Alright, so before I start bawling my eyes out, because I'm a sensitive baby, we just wanted to end this video with a little bit of coming out advice.
So don't feel ashamed or any less of a person if you cannot come out to your friends or your family, or, you know, just out in general. Don't come out if it isn't safe, if you don't feel comfortable, or, you know, if you
might lose your home.
Yeah, just, you know, stay your ass in the closet.
So don't apologize for who you are. You know, when you do feel ready to come out to your family or friends or whoever, don't say like, I'm sorry, I'm whatever, I'm queer, whatever. Don't apologize for who you are. I actually have a friend who came out to me one time, and he was like apologizing and saying, I hope you still see me the same, and I hope you still, you know, care about me and this and that. And I was like, why are you apologizing for who you are? So just don't apologize for who you are. I'm not saying to be rude about it either, like, if you don't like this, cut you out of my life. I mean, just be professional about it, but don't apologize for who you are.
So if things get bad, they will probably get better, because you'll actually meet people who genuinely love you. So you won't need any of those people who have caused you any pain or trouble.
I mean, it's hard to let go of people. But
so thank you guys so much for watching, and
if you have any questions, leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Just keep going. I can't do that. Let's be friends.
Fuck. Alright. Take 2.
Oh my god, you're so pretty. Let's be friends. I'm trying to sound straight.
Okay, take 3. You have lipstick. Okay. Are you into girls?
I'm straight. I like men.
That sound.
Okay.
That was not convincing. Are you into girls?
I'm straight. I like men. Oh, fuck. Ow. That actually hurt. You actually fucking bitch.
And that's how gay people are made.